Alright guys, welcome back to the Little Lawton Gaming channel. Today I've simulated the 2022 F1 season on F1 2021. So without further ado, let's get into the results and let's see who wins the championship. Is it Lewis? Is it Max? Is it someone else? So before the season started, there were 3 driver changes. Well, technically 4. Kimi Räikkönen retired from the sport and Carlos Sainz made the odd choice to go from Ferrari to Alfa Romeo, which then left a Ferrari seat open where Sebastian Vettel slotted in, taking his old seat. Somewhat unrealistic considering how they parted ways, shall we say, last time. And then Aston Martin filled Vettel's seat with Guan Yu Zhou, a rookie. Let's see how everyone gets on in Bahrain. So in Bahrain, Lewis Hamilton won the Grand Prix. Valtteri Bottas' teammate in second place. Lando Norris making up the podium in third, and the 2 Red Bulls 4th and 5th. Mercedes looking very strong early on this season, looking for another title. And at the moment, judging by the speed they've shown, Hamilton and Bottas may well be fighting for the title between themselves. And as we head to Imola, a very similar story. This time though, it's Bottas that wins the Grand Prix. Hamilton just 3 seconds behind him. Ricciardo rounds off that podium 21 seconds back. Then Charles Leclerc's in the Ferrari. Lando Norris is 5th in the McLaren. And the 2 Red Bulls are 6th and 7th. That lack of pace they showed at the end of the 2021 season, they're certainly showing again in this start of this 2022 season. Vettel in 8th place in his Ferrari. And Gasly and Alonso round off the points. And in Portugal, the Red Bulls fight back, finding some pace from somewhere. Max Verstappen wins the Grand Prix. Bottas comes second, a nice drive through from 5th for that. Hamilton finished 3rd. Perez finishing 4th in the Red Bull. Red Bull certainly seems strong around this track. The 2 Ferraris, Vettel and Leclerc, in 5th and 6th. The 2 McLarens then come in 7th and 8th. And Alonso and Tsunoda are 9th and 10th. And as we make the relatively short trip from Portugal to Spain, Lewis Hamilton reigns supreme, winning the Grand Prix. His teammate Valtteri Bottas in 2nd place. Max Verstappen finished 3rd and showing Red Bull's pace at the moment. Charles Leclerc finished 4th, Norris 5th. Vettel still getting used to that Ferrari in 6th. Perez with an amazing drive from 18th to 7th. Daniel Ricciardo finished 8th, Alonso in 9th, and Pierre Gasly grabbed that final point. And Mercedes have kept their pace going through Monaco now, as Valtteri Bottas won the Grand Prix. Hamilton finishing 2nd, another 1-2 for Mercedes. Max Verstappen 3rd again, pulling that Red Bull as hard as he can up the grid. Daniel Ricciardo 4th, Lando Norris in 5th, a good weekend for the McLarens. Sebastian Vettel in 6th place, finally starting to click there. Hopefully he can start breaking the podium. Pierre Gasly, another good finish for him, 7th place. Charles Leclerc finished 8th. Fernando Alonso with yet another 9th place finish. And Checo in a very disappointing 10th. And so after 5 races, it is Valtteri Bottas who leads the Constructors' Championship by 3 points from Lewis Hamilton. Verstappen has put himself in 3rd place. Norris was in 4th, Leclerc 5th, Ricciardo 6th, Perez 7th, and there's Vettel in 8th, Gasly 9th, Alonso 10th, and then just the solitary points for Tsunoda and Stroll. Not that you needed showing, but Mercedes have a very dominant lead in the Constructors. Red Bull 2nd, McLaren 3rd, Ferrari comfortably in 4th, AlphaTauri then slotting in 5th, Alpine in 6th, Aston Martin are in 7th, and nobody else has scored a point. In Azerbaijan, Mercedes continue to dominate. Bottas winning the Grand Prix, Hamilton coming 2nd, Verstappen 3rd, Ricciardo and Norris 4th and 5th, Perez in 6th, Gasly came 7th, Vettel and Leclerc 8th and 9th, and Alonso in 10th. Valtteri Bottas is flying. It's another victory on the bounce for him. He wins the Canadian Grand Prix. Verstappen 2nd, Hamilton 3rd, Norris 4th, Gasly fantastic form in 5th, Perez in 6th, Vettel 7th, Alonso picking up an 8th place finish, Leclerc in 9th and Tsunoda in 10th. And the first chink in the Mercedes armour has been hit. Max Verstappen with a fantastic drive from 11th, winning the Grand Prix. Charles Leclerc coming 2nd, Bottas in 3rd, Norris and Ricciardo 4th and 5th, Sergio Perez in 6th, Vettel 7th, Pierre Gasly in 8th, Alonso 9th, Tsunoda 10th, and Lewis Hamilton nowhere to be seen with a DNF. You can call one weekend a blip, but 2 on the bounce. Mercedes have struggled. Daniel Ricciardo winning the Austrian Grand Prix, Verstappen in 2nd, Lando Norris finishing 3rd, Bottas 4th, Perez 5th, Hamilton in 6th, Vettel came 7th, Leclerc came 8th, Gasly in 9th, and Alonso in 10th. And just when you think they're down and out, Mercedes bounced back. Lewis Hamilton getting the victory on his home Grand Prix. Bottas coming 2nd, Norris 3rd, Verstappen 4th, Ricciardo 5th, Perez 6th, Leclerc 7th, Vettel 8th, Alonso. Points for him this season. He's in 9th and Tsunoda finished 10th. And after 10 races, Valtteri Bottas is 32 points ahead of Lewis Hamilton in the Drivers' Championship. Max Verstappen is in 3rd place, Lando Norris 4th, Ricciardo 5th, Perez in 6th, Leclerc's in 7th and Vettel's in 8th. Gasly is in 9th, Alonso's in 10th, Tsunoda 11th, and Lance Stroll still just with 1 point in 12th. And in the Constructors, Mercedes hold a 127 point advantage over Red Bull, who are under threat from McLaren in 3rd place. Ferrari in 4th, a little off the pace of everybody else, but also a little too fast for the likes of AlphaTauri, who are in 5th. Alpine are in 6th, and Aston Martin still just with that 1 point in 7th. Ferrari get a 1-2. Vettel picking up his first victory since moving back. Charles Leclerc 2nd, Max Verstappen 3rd, Daniel Ricciardo 4th, and the Mercedes duo are 5th and 6th. Sergio Perez 7th, Pierre Gasly finished 8th, Alonso 9th, and Ocon in 10th. Now, I've lost the images for the next 3 Grand Prix, so I do apologise for that, but I will quickly run down each one for you. So Belgium had Lewis Hamilton win the Grand Prix, Lando Norris came 2nd, Max Verstappen 3rd, Pierre Gasly 4th, Valtteri Bottas 5th, Sergio Perez 6th, Sebastian Vettel 7th, Daniel Ricciardo 8th, Charles Leclerc 9th, and Esteban Ocon in 10th. And in the Dutch Grand Prix, Valtteri Bottas bounced back with a victory. Max Verstappen finishing 2nd, Charles Leclerc 3rd, Lando Norris 4th, Lewis Hamilton 5th, Sergio Perez 6th, Pierre Gasly 7th, Fernando Alonso 8th, Daniel Ricciardo 9th, and Ocon back in there with that 10th place again. And the final one without a picture is the Italian Grand Prix. Valtteri Bottas picked up the victory. Daniel Ricciardo 2nd, Charles Leclerc 3rd, Lando Norris 4th, Lewis Hamilton 5th, Pierre Gasly 6th, Sebastian Vettel 7th, Max Verstappen 8th, Sergio Perez 9th, and Fernando Alonso 10th. So back to the pictures, I'm back with a Lando Norris victory in Russia. Charles Leclerc 2nd, Max Verstappen 3rd, Sebastian Vettel 4th, Valtteri Bottas 5th, Daniel Ricciardo 6th, Lewis Hamilton 7th, Sergio Perez 8th, Fernando Alonso 9th, and Pierre Gasly 10th. And after 15 races, Valtteri Bottas leads the Drivers' Championship 46 points ahead of Max Verstappen, Lewis Hamilton just behind him, Lando Norris is in 4th, Daniel Ricciardo 5th, Charles Leclerc is in 6th, Sebastian Vettel is in 7th and has gone level on points with Sergio Perez in 8th, Pierre Gasly 9th, Fernando Alonso 10th, Yuki Tsunoda in 11th, Esteban Ocon and Lance Stroll on 2 points each in 12th and 13th. And despite having quite a few races where maybe they weren't as comfortable as they'd like to be, Mercedes are 172 points ahead of Red Bull, McLaren just behind them still in 3rd, Ferrari starting to slowly close that gap on McLaren in 4th, AlphaTauri are 5th and comfortably 5th, Alpine are 6th, and then Aston Martin are 7th. And so as we head to Singapore, it's another Ferrari 1-2. It's Leclerc with the victory, Vettel in 2nd, Verstappen came 3rd, Bottas 4th, Hamilton 5th, Norris came 6th, Ricciardo 7th, Perez 8th, Alonso 9th, and Pierre Gasly 10th. And as we stay in Asia, Charles Leclerc makes it back-to-back victories as he wins the Japanese Grand Prix. Norris came second, Verstappen third, Bottas fourth, Vettel fifth, Ricciardo sixth, Hamilton seventh, Perez all the way down in eighth, Fernando Alonso ninth, and Pierre Gasly 10th. And Max Verstappen wins the American Grand Prix. Charles Leclerc and Sebastian Vettel both getting on the podium and keeping Ferrari's good form up. Sergio Perez finishing 4th, Bottas 5th, Ricciardo 6th, Hamilton 7th, Alonso 8th, Gasly 9th, and Tsunoda in 10th. And the short trip to Mexico leads to Charles Leclerc winning a third Grand Prix this season. Max Verstappen finishing second. Hamilton and Bottas with a bit better form in third and fourth. Perez fifth. Norris in sixth. Vettel in seventh. Gasly finished in eighth. Ocon ninth. And Alonso in 10th. And heading south from Mexico, Max Verstappen picks up the victory in Brazil. Bottas came second. Leclerc and Vettel once again, Ferrari looking so strong in third and fourth. Hamilton finished in fifth, Norris sixth, Ricciardo seventh, Alonso in eighth, Gasly came ninth, and Esteban Ocon rounded off the points. And with just 2 races left to go, there are 13 points in it, which means it will go down to the final race of the season. Bottas leads, Verstappen 13 points off in second, Hamilton third, Leclerc in 4th, Norris 5th, Ricciardo 6th, Vettel 7th, Perez 8th, Gasly 9th, and Alonso is in 10th. And Mercedes have indeed won the Constructors' Championship. They can't be overruled even if both their cars DNF in the last 2 races, and Red Bull get 1-2 in both. However, the big news is Ferrari have indeed leapfrogged McLaren. The form second half of the season has been incredible, and they look to chase down Red Bull. AlphaTauri are in 5th place, Alpine 6th, Aston Martin with just 2 points in 7th, and the other teams still haven't scored a point. And the Drivers' Championship just got exciting. Max Verstappen wins in Australia, Charles Leclerc and Vettel round off the podium, Bottas in 4th. That means heading into the final race of the season, Verstappen and Bottas are level. Whoever finishes above who will win the Drivers' Championship. Hamilton 5th, Sergio Perez 6th, Ricciardo and Norris in 7th and 8th, Alonso 9th, and Gasly grabbed that final point in 10th. And Max Verstappen is the Drivers' Champion. Vettel won in Abu Dhabi, Max Verstappen came second, Perez third, Bottas fourth, which means there is a 6-point gap between Verstappen and Bottas. Hamilton came fifth, Norris sixth, Alonso seventh, Daniel Ricciardo eighth, Pierre Gasly ninth, and the big news, George Russell 10th, picking up his first point in F1, at least on this game. And there it is, all confirmed. Max Verstappen wins the Drivers' Championship, 6 points ahead of Bottas. Hamilton 3rd, Leclerc 4th, Norris 5th, Vettel 6th, Ricciardo 7th, Perez 8th, Gasly 9th, Alonso 10th, and then Yuki Tsunoda in 11th, Ocon 12th, Stroll 13th, and Russell with his solitary point in the final race of the season in 14th. And we said they couldn't be caught. Well, obviously they haven't been. Mercedes do win the Constructors' Championship, Red Bull 2nd, Ferrari 3rd, McLaren 4th, AlphaTauri 5th, Alpine 6th, Aston Martin 7th, and Williams, finally, one of the other teams has picked up a point in 8th. And there we have it. This is a picture of the quality of the cars at the end of the season. As you can see, Ferrari, Mercedes and Red Bull all pretty close at the top. McLaren dropped off slightly, but it will be interesting to see how they perform over the summer for that 2023 season. But in 2022, Max Verstappen reigns supreme. Red Bull don't. Mercedes retain their constructors. Something tells me there's going to be a big change next season. I'm thinking Ferrari. If you've liked the video, please drop it a like. It really does help. Give me a subscribe. There's going to be plenty more of this content. And I'll catch you guys later.